Welcome back to our channel. The West Philippine Sea remains one of the most contested maritime regions in the world. With its abundant resources, strategic location, and growing geopolitical tensions, nations are strengthening their military alliances to secure their interests. Today, we'll break down the current military alliances, explore potential future partnerships, and examine how these power shifts could impact the future of the region. Let's dive in. The West Philippine Sea is more than just a body of water. It is a vital corridor for global trade, connecting Asia to the Pacific and beyond. Approximately one-third of the world's maritime trade passes through these waters, making it a strategic choke point. But beyond trade, the region is also rich in resources, with vast fishing grounds and potential oil and gas deposits, making it an area of great economic and strategic importance. For decades, multiple nations have laid claim to parts of the West Philippine Sea. The most controversial of these claims is China's Nine-Dash Line, an expansive territorial claim covering nearly the entire area. While the Philippines won a landmark case in 2016 under the Permanent Court of Arbitration, China has refused to recognize the ruling, leading to further tensions in the region. To counterbalance China's growing influence, nations in the region have strengthened their military alliances. Here are the key players shaping the security landscape of the West Philippine Sea. Number 1. The United States and the Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty. Long-standing allies under the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, allows U.S. forces to rotate in Philippine bases. Regular joint military exercises like Balikatan strengthen their cooperation. Number 2. The Quad Alliance, U.S., Japan, India, Australia. While not a formal military alliance, the Quad strengthens security in the Indo-Pacific. Joint naval exercises, intelligence sharing, and defense collaborations help deter aggression. Number 3. The AUKUS Pact, Australia, UK-US, focused on countering China's influence in the Pacific. Australia acquiring nuclear-powered submarines enhances regional naval capabilities. Number 4. Japan and the Philippines Reciprocal Access Agreement. Historic agreement allowing Japanese forces to train in the Philippines. Number 5. Australia and the Philippines Visiting Forces Agreement. Signed in 2007 and ratified in 2012. Allowing Australian forces to conduct training and exercises in the Philippines. Strengthens counterterrorism cooperation, particularly in Mindanao, where Australian forces helped train Philippine troops during the Marawi siege. Includes joint naval patrols and military training exercises under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Program, EDCP. Expanding defense ties with frequent visits of Royal Australian Navy ships and participation in multilateral exercises in the Indo-Pacific. As tensions rise, we could see new military partnerships forming in the coming years. Here are some potential future alliances that could reshape the balance of power in the West Philippine Sea. Number 1. Expanded U.S., Philippines, Japan, Australia security cooperation. A more formalized alliance between these countries could create a stronger deterrent against China. Increased naval presence and joint patrols could be expected. Number 2. Strengthening India's role in the region. India has expressed interest in enhancing maritime cooperation with ASEAN nations. Possible expansion of India-Philippines defense relations, including missile system agreements. Number 3. NATO's increasing interest in the Indo-Pacific. NATO members like the UK and France have increased naval patrols in the region. A more active NATO presence could deter aggressive actions. Number 4. Potential Canada-Philippines Visiting Forces Agreement. Canada has been increasing its engagement in the Indo-Pacific, particularly in maritime security. A VFA-like agreement would enable Canadian military personnel to conduct joint exercises, train with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, and support humanitarian and disaster relief, HADR, missions. The agreement would complement Canada's Indo-Pacific strategy, which aims to counter China's influence in the region. Canada's participation in RIMPAC and other multilateral exercises makes it a strong candidate for deeper military cooperation with the Philippines. Number 5. Potential New Zealand-Philippines Visiting Forces Agreement. New Zealand has been expanding its defense ties in the Indo-Pacific, particularly with ASEAN nations. A VFA-like agreement could allow New Zealand's military to conduct joint maritime patrols, engage in counterterrorism training, and enhance humanitarian assistance efforts in the Philippines. New Zealand is already an active participant in regional security forums and Five Eyes intelligence sharing alliance, which could benefit the Philippines. A stronger Philippines-New Zealand defense partnership aligns with Wellington's commitment to regional stability and rule-based order in the South China Sea. Number 6. Potential France-Philippines Visiting Forces Agreement. France has been increasing its military presence in the Indo-Pacific, maintaining a permanent naval presence in the region through its territories in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. A VFA-like agreement would allow French forces to conduct joint exercises, maritime patrols, and intelligence sharing operations with the AFP. France has defense cooperation agreements with several ASEAN countries and has been vocal about supporting freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. The Philippines and France already have a growing defense relationship, with French defense companies offering submarines, patrol vessels, and radar systems for the AFP modernization program. A formal agreement would enable more frequent naval deployments and possible rotational presence of French warships in the region, enhancing Philippine maritime security. China continues to build artificial islands and deploy military assets in the West Philippine Sea. The presence of advanced missile systems, fighter jets, and naval warships signals China's intent to assert control. Meanwhile, the United States, along with its allies, continues to conduct freedom of navigation operations, FONOPs, to challenge Beijing's claims. The Philippines, as a frontline state, is caught in this geopolitical power struggle. Scenario 1. Peaceful resolution through diplomacy. Diplomatic efforts through ASEAN and international mediation could reduce tensions. However, China's unwillingness to compromise remains a major roadblock. Scenario 2. Increased militarization and confrontation. More military buildups could lead to a direct confrontation in the West Philippine Sea. Flashpoints like Scarborough Shoal and Second Thomas Shoal remain at risk of escalation. Scenario 3. Strengthening international alliances. A united front among regional and global allies could serve as a deterrent. More defense agreements and military deployments may occur. The West Philippine Sea remains a strategic battleground where alliances will shape the future. While military partnerships are strengthening, diplomacy remains the best path to lasting peace. As the world watches closely, one thing is certain. What happens in the West Philippine Sea will have far-reaching consequences for global security. What do you think about the future of this contested region? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on global military affairs.